Lyrics of the Lost.
Welcome back, as we discover the true meanings behind another song that have been hidden from you for over 50 years now, in the basement of a pizza restaurant owned by George Clooney and the Illuminati. Why? Why do they hide meanings and messages in songs? Because they want you to consume messages subconsciously, subliminally, to make you homosexual. It might be too late to save me. I already think Ryan Gosling has a pretty mouth, but I can still save others. What about you, Dave?
Not so keen on Ryan Gosling's mouth, but...
Other parts of him?
I mean, I could be at risk. Yeah. Hang on, which Ryan are we talking about? Right, yeah, Ryan Gosling. He's the better looking one, right? Yeah.
Oh,
of the Ryans. I get the Ryans confused.
He's the better actor of the two, I think.
Yeah, possibly, yes.
He's just adorable.
Yeah.
So, you've had minimal stirrings about the Ryans, either Ryan.
I mean, I think he's a good-looking fella.
Okay.
You know?
But you're quite secure where you sit in sexuality, in the gender fluids. No, not gender fluids, the sexual fluids.
I try not to sit in them.
Yes, all right. Well, today is episode 39 for any number freaks. And the song today is by a band whose name is, perhaps tellingly, an anagram of sodomy lube. Because episode 39 is this.
Nights in White Satin.
Nights in White Satin by the Moody Blues, 1967. Written and sung by Justin Hayward. This song was suggested to us by Kendall. Thanks, Kendall. And you want to thank Kendall, Dave?
Thanks, Kendall. Yeah.
And if anyone wants to suggest a song or record your thoughts for an episode, you can do it at speakpipe.com/lyrics. We love to hear from you. Don't we, Dave?
Yes. And special thanks to Kendall because I think... So last episode, we travelled to the distant future, or as most people call it, last year.
The present, almost.
Almost the present. And I believe this is the oldest song we have ever discussed on this podcast. So we've gone to the extremes.
Amazing. So Nights in White Satin. This is nights with an N, as in nighttime, not KN, as in knights with armour in medieval times.
Well, that's an interesting point, and I think it will come up.
Could be controversial.
Later on. Yes.
Yeah, but knights, I don't think, wear armour made from white satin. It would be a poor material for armour.
Look, I did see somebody on the internet claim that knights wore white satin under their armour to make it a bit more comfy.
Oh, sure. Yeah. That would stop a lot of chafing, I think. That's sounds good. Yeah.
But it's not...
Yeah.
I just can say I don't think it's very absorbent in terms of sweat, and it's not very breathable.
No, that's right. I've heard that too, yeah.
Yes.
I was thinking it might help to deflect, if you had it as armour, it might help to deflect a glancing blow from a sword where the glossy, smooth satin could help the blade sort of slip across your flesh rather than digging in.
Well, I mean, given what you were talking about before, there might be lots and lots of glances between knights. Particularly if they're wearing white satin.
They're all played by Ryan Reynolds and Ryan Gosling, yes.
Exactly, yes.
The Knight's Ryan.
Well, now I'm thinking of Ryan Gosling in white satin underwear, and it's distracting me.
Crikey. Satin has been around for 2,000 years, apparently, I read.
Sure.
So even Jesus might have worn a bit of satin. A couple of times in the Bible, it does say Jesus was tempted by satin. Hey! Yeah. There's also more modern knights of just last century and even continuing now. I'm talking about the white knights of the Ku Klux Klan. No armour to wear, just white hoods and robes, usually made of cotton. But you certainly could have them made in satin if you wanted. I mean, just because you're going about your night full of hate-filled racist deeds, that doesn't mean you don't want to feel a bit sensual, a bit sexy while you're doing it.
Sure.
A glossy white satin hood could beautifully catch the flickering light from a burning cross at midnight. potentially very, very glamorous. And if you throw on some pearls as well, maybe get a bedazzler and crimp on a pattern of gems.
Nice.
It's looking good. Although, I stress again, this song isn't Knights with a KN, but the guys in the KKK were certainly active at Knights. So some of them could have spent their nights in white satin.
Yes. Nights in white satin.
Yes.
Yes.
So we can't, at this early stage, rule out this song being a coded message about white power. And to add further confusion, the song was covered in 1976 by the legendary Giorgio Moroder, who did spell it Knights in White Satin with a KN, in what was a very self-indulgent 15-minute disco version.
Yes, I sat through that.
Woof.
Yeah.
And to add yet further confusion, there are quotes from Justin Hayward saying that he liked that Knights could be heard as either night times or armoured knights, suggesting it was or may have been intentional. But titles aside, let's go now to the lyrics.
Verbs, adjectives, adverbs, nouns, all these words making musical sounds. What are they saying? It leaves me in hysterics. I need to find out. Let's go to the lyrics. To the lyrics. Let's go to the lyrics.
Yes. So, first verse begins with
Knights in white satin.
Knights in White Satin. So that shows immediately that the title was well chosen. It does what it says on the box. You know you've got the right track immediately, and that's so handy if you were skipping through a bunch of tracks going, "Where's Knights in White Satin? Is this it?" Bang, it tells you straight away. Or at least straight away after 2 minutes of dramatic orchestra music. If you have the full 9-minute version instead of the 4-minute radio cut.
One of the many radio cuts. We should probably also mention that the album version is cobbled together with a poem.
Yes. At the end, after it's bookended with dramatic orchestra music,
yes,
you get the late lament poem written by the drummer, I think it was.
That's right.
Yes. But more on that later. Knights in White Satin.
Never reaching the end.
Never reaching the end. And this is your first clue that the song might be about satin bed sheets. Justin Hayward is maybe trying to make the bed, I think, and he's found one corner of the satin sheet. He needs to find the next corner before he can shake and billow the sheet out across the bed, but it's longer than his arm span, and the glossy satin is so slippery. I can't find the end.
Yes.
Then he gets the diagonally opposite corner. That's no good. He'll be at this all night, never reaching the end. And what if it's the fitted bottom sheet with the elastic lining that makes it even harder to recognize the corners? Terrible.
Yes. And also, if you're folding them, the fitted sheet, often I do not reach the end of folding the fitted sheets, and I just chuck them down and get my wife to do it.
Never reach the end, yes.
No, I've frankly no interest in reaching the end.
You lose interest in it.
Yes.
Fair enough. Give up. But yeah, straight away, Justin's, he set his song deep in struggle.
Letters I've written.
Letters I've written.
Never meaning to send.
Never meaning to send. This could be a metaphor with Justin still struggling to make the bed, and he's comparing that to the futility of writing letters and then not sending them. Yeah, or another type of letter you never sent, writing a diary, basically letters to yourself. But one final kind of unsent letter, especially if you're already making a bed of sexy satin sheets for a sexy evening ahead, a French letter.
Ooh.
An old-timey euphemism for condom.
Yes.
But if these are French letters he's already written, it suggests he's already used these condoms. He's he's marked them with his personal pen.
Oh. Do you think he collects them?
Maybe they're trophies.
Yeah, he's written them and he's not meaning to send them to the bin. He's just collecting them.
Yeah, he's written them with his personal pen.
Yep.
And yes, I'm saying his pen is a pennies.
Hey. Very good.
Anyway, to impress his girlfriend, he's spent up big on the satin sheets, but he's saving on the money for new condoms. Interesting. Lastly, it could also be that Justin actually writes letters, but doesn't send them because he's just fed up with the unreliable British postal service. Like he prefers to just personally hand his letter to the recipient next time he sees them, like a month later.
Ah, yes.
Like he doesn't trust the post. So this line could just be an aside to the main lyrics, a bit of editorializing about the British Post Office. On Twitter, I see celebrities publicly tweeting out their complaints about businesses, and because their followings are so big on the socials, they get fast service, I'm sure. But back in 1967, sure, complain within your pop song. Same idea.
I mean, that's protest music.
I guess it is. But this is sort of like petty protests.
Yes. We can't all be Bob Dylan.
No. Be sad flicking through little placards with the postal service sucks and these satin sheets are too slippery. And yeah. And the verse ends now with
Beauty I'd always missed.
Beauty I'd always missed.
With these eyes before.
With these eyes before.
Just what the truth is.
Just what the truth is.
I can't say anymore.
I can't say anymore.
Mm.
And that could be more editorial criticism. Justin maybe talking about the famous poem Ode on a Grecian Urn by John Keats, 1819, which is a poem that ends with the wisdom of the urn itself. Beauty is truth, truth beauty. That is all ye know on earth and all ye need to know.
Nice.
So Justin's saying he now sees beauty that his eyes had missed before, but what the truth is he can't say. It eludes him. And therefore Keats is crap. So in just the first verse, he's had a go at the postal service, satin sheets, and the difficulty of wrangling them, and now the poetry of Keats.
Mm.
In fact, Justin sings just what the truth is, I can't say anymore, which suggests he used to know the truth, back when his eyes were not noticing the beauty. But now he's distracted by beauty and he can't see the truth. Justin is saying that you can see either truth or beauty, but never both. They are opposite. And therefore, again, Keats is crap.
Yeah. So truth is not beauty.
No.
It's an illusion.
An illusion, yes.
Good one.
Into the chorus now, beginning with
'Cause I love you.
'Cause I love you. So he's connecting the love he feels as causing the confusion he described in the last few lines. And the girl he's addressing with his love must be that beauty he saw, but which his eyes always missed previously. So it's like he didn't find her attractive at first, but she's sort of grown on him over time as he's come to appreciate perhaps some of the less tangible aspects of her beauty that maybe weren't immediately visible to the eye.
Yes, or she's the plain secretary type who's taken off her spectacles and shaken out her hair.
Oh, perfect. Yes, of course. Yeah.
And suddenly he's noticed she's beautiful and now he's in love with her.
Yeah. I mean, it could be that, or it could just be that it's just not the most flattering declaration of love. I've eventually come to see you as beautiful.
Yes.
And maybe that's why he's overcompensating now, straight away with two more I love yous. And some as the rest of the first chorus.
Yes.
Yeah. And in the second chorus, it goes from 3 up to 4 I love yous. Then in the last chorus, it's a full 8 I love yous. Like it's increasingly desperate, trying to dig his way out of that initial clumsy attempt at a compliment. Commenting on YouTube, one lady said how chilled out the vibe is when Justin sings the verses, but in the chorus he sounds like a nut.
It's true.
Yes, it's a bit jarring. The I Love You chorus also features a strange vocal backing by the rest of the band, which sounds like a sort of high-pitched squawking, doing their best impression of exotic peacock calls, I think. I'll play a bit here with some actual peacocks for comparison. Another comment on YouTube said, I don't know how they made that noise, but it's the sound of agony in one's heart when you love someone too much.
Yeah, I would say that loving this woman doesn't seem to bring him any actual pleasure or happiness.
No, that's love for you.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Second and final verse now, beginning with
Gazing at people,
gazing at people,
some hand in hand.
some hand in hand.
Just what I'm going through,
Just what I'm going through,
they can understand.
they can't understand. Justin Hayward, again, I think, adding to his list of grievances here. These people holding hands, they can't understand how much it pisses him off. A lot of people don't like public displays of affection, PDAs. He sees people holding hands and he starts yelling, "Get a room!" It just makes him feel awkward because Justin, he's maybe uncomfortable with emotions. He chokes on delivering a simple compliment about his girl's beauty, and it becomes a backhanded insult. And then he's bottling up feelings until he explodes in a chorus of yelling, oh, I love you, which, must have scared the girl. Like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
And he tries to show her the lovely, luxurious bed of satin sheets, but all she notices are the used French letters on the side table. It all just goes wrong for him.
Oh.
I'm worried Justin might be an incel. Like, he expects love, but he's just got this long list of grievances that he's constantly angry about, and he insults the people he actually likes. It's just really sad.
Yeah.
We're into the last lines now before the last chorus of increasing I love yous.
Some try to tell me,
Some try to tell me
thoughts they cannot defend.
thoughts they cannot defend. That sounds like he's just logged onto Twitter under Elon Musk. Twitter X. It's just full of indefensible, hate-filled thoughts about vaccines, immigrants, the deep state, liberal snowflakes, diversity, equity and inclusion, crisis actors, false flags, and clones impersonating world leaders. All that, perfect place for Justin if he's an incel. This would be a 1967 version of Twitter X, though, which might be the letters section of the National Enquirer or Hustler magazine, maybe. Or no, maybe the Ku Klux Klan. We've come full circle. The 1967 version of Musk's Twitter is being a member in the White Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. There you go. And now finally we've got
Just what you want to be.
just what you want to be,
You will be in the end.
you'll be in the end. And there it is. I think that's the motto of the incel. If you want something, it should just happen because you're entitled. Everything I want will happen without me having to change myself or get out of my comfort zone. And I'm going to sit here wanting and being angry about everything until the world makes me what I want and what I deserve.
Yes.
Just what you want to be, you'll be in the end.
He's manifesting or attempting to.
That's right. Yes, it was the, what was it? The Secret, where you manifest your desire to the universe and it just comes to you because you're an incel. I think that was that was what was in the book. Yeah.
Yeah.
So The song sounds a bit like an incel anthem to me, and you won't believe this. I came across what appears to be some original draft lyrics for the song.
Goodness me.
A scrap of paper that someone scanned and uploaded, and if I can just read the handwriting, it goes something like, "Woke people talk at me, can't stand all their chatter. There's only two genders, and all lives matter. I'll mansplain it to you. Oh, how I'll mansplain it to you," etc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very, very forward thinking. I mean, really.
Forward thinking, yes, in a regressive incel way, yes.
He's predicted...
Woke.
Well, he's predicted the internet.
Yep. Well, he was making his own song into an internet complaints forum, so...
And he's predicted Fox News, and he's predicted Trump.
Black Lives Matter too, yeah.
Yes.
He's seen it all.
Yes, that's right. He was contradicting Black Lives Matter before anyone had even thought of it. That's incredible.
It is incredible, but he's quite a mystical sort of guy with his concept album.
That's true.
And I'm sure he's channeling otherworldly powers from the mystical realms.
Yeah. Well,
and he's seen it all.
That would explain the title of the album, Days of Future Past. So he's actually projecting to the future.
There you go.
As if it's past. Yeah.
There you go. It's all very...
amazing.
It's all very Marty McFly and...
Yes.
Professor... What's his face?
Dumbledore. No.
Yeah, sure. Why not? It's a spin-off sequel to both. What about you, Dave? What did you find?
Well, it's about home maintenance and DIY.
Home maintenance?
Yeah.
DIY is better than DEI in Twitterverse.
That's true, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, if you're a DIY hire, that's a different thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Anyway, first two lines. Nights in White Satin never reaching the end. So these lines describe the plight of the home handyman who never quite has enough time to finish the job.
Oh, yes. Endlessly nagged by the wife saying, "Why don't you get this thing finished?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, I've been increasingly using this podcast as a kind of a therapy to exercise a few demons of my own.
All right. And a way to procrastinate other DIY projects as well, maybe?
Well, perhaps. It's one more thing that's preventing me from doing it. But I am reminded that I am, and have been for some time, 3/4 of the way through painting our lounge room.
Oh, okay.
So between work and travel and raking leaves and podcasting, frankly, and having COVID and family commitments, there is rarely enough time to properly complete all of the jobs around the house that need to be done. And this is what Justin is singing about. Now, satin, as you will know, is a level of paint sheen somewhere between matte and gloss.
Ah, right, yes.
So Justin is lamenting the nights he has spent seemingly immersed in white paint as he tries to complete his home maintenance tasks, having spent all day in the recording studio.
White satin paint.
Yes, so he's spending nights in white satin.
Oh.
So he's spending all day on the recording studio, or he's touring, right? So he only has brief periods at home when he's not on the road.
Sure.
So he spends his nights on a ladder with a brush or a roller in white satin.
Is he doing his lounge room as well? We don't know.
I mean, I think I'm projecting there, but it feels like he is. Yeah.
The good thing about painting a lounge room wall is if you've only painted one wall so far, you can call it a feature wall.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Until you get around to finishing it. The other three.
Yeah, the problem is we already have one of those.
Oh, bugger.
So I can't do that. Yeah. At the moment, I have a feature unpainted piece of ceiling.
Okay. Right.
It's harder to convince people, yeah. Look, I think Justin, like me, finds that house painting seems like a good idea before you start, when you imagine how nice the room will look and you completely overlook, well, the living hell that is having to live with all your furniture and books and CDs and whatever else piled up in the dining room because you've had to clear out the living room so you can paint it.
Yeah.
Or the nightmare of sanding, scraping, filling, washing down walls that you need to do before you can even get out a paint roller.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just paint straight over other paint.
No. Preparation is key.
Ugh.
Yeah.
You got to sort of rough up the surface or something to
Yes.
to get it to stick.
Yeah.
I've never painted anything, so I'm just.
I figured as a fellow homeowner, you might understand the plight of the DIYer.
Luckily, our flat was renovated before we moved here.
Well, if you don't prepare properly, then you will never reach the end because the paint will never look any good and will probably peel off and you just have to start again.
Well, that comes together nicely, yeah.
Yeah. Now,
Letters I've written.
letters I've written, never meaning to send. So you mentioned, I think, futility before.
I did.
Yes, and now here Justin is now comparing the time spent on preparation and cleaning up to another futile activity, writing letters that you know that you're never going to send and are never going to be read. Yeah. Or maybe you also mentioned a diary, that kind of thing. So perhaps that's how he works out the frustration of the slow progress of his home renovation. He writes it in his diary.
Oh, yeah. That's a good mental health technique, actually.
Yeah. So he can let it go and get on with his life.
Beauty I'd always missed.
Beauty I'd always missed with these eyes before. Just what the truth is, I can't say anymore. Now he's looking at the partly completed living room that is taking 3 times as long as he thought it would and thinking, why on earth did I start this? It looked just fine before. It was beautiful. I just didn't realize it at the time.
New appreciation for it.
Yes. This is all a waste of time. I don't even know what looks good or what I want or what colors I like or whether I really want to put shelves over here or get new curtains. What is the truth? What is real? What do I really think? He's just lost it now.
The concept of the completed job is slipping away from him like so much satin.
Exactly. Yes. Yep. Now in the chorus, he's starting to get passive aggressive.
With his partner?
Yes. His wife is now asking him, well, if you're so unhappy about doing this job, why did you even start it? To which he replies, I'm doing it
'Cause I love you.
because I love you and I want you to have the lovely house that you deserve and I want you to have it the way you want. Plus, you were complaining about that the ceiling was a bit mouldy and the paint's peeling from the window frame, thereby blaming her
Of course.
for all his anger and frustration. What a prick.
And yeah, she would say, well, this is not lovely at all. This is a huge mess and that you're never going to finish. And clearly you don't love me. So there.
I'm doing it all for you. So this mess is indirectly your fault.
It's kind of your fault, of course. Look what you made me do.
Yep.
Now I've hit you.
Wow.
You silly woman.
Justin never comes out of this looking good, does he?
No male artist we ever cover comes out looking good, no.
That's true. We're never very far from partner abuse.
Gazing at people.
Gazing at people, some hand in hand, just what I'm going through, they can't understand.
Oh, yeah.
Now he's thinking back to when he was at the hardware store.
Oh, yeah.
So in Australia, we know it as Bunnings. In Britain, I think they're B&Q. In the United States, Home Depot, I think, would be the equivalent.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that. Massive DIY stores. They probably weren't quite as common in 1967, but they would have had, DIY hardware stores.
So he's like gazing at people who were maybe kind of what he used to be with his partner, browsing the same paints and things and thinking, oh, this will be so lovely. This is great how we're nesting together, honey, and everyone.
Exactly right.
These people look just so content, but they don't even know what.
Walking hand in hand with the little dogs in their shopping trolleys.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at plants, looking at floating hybrid flooring, paint swatches, kitchen cabinets.
So they don't know what they're about to go through.
Yeah.
They couldn't even understand it if you tried to explain it to them.
Exactly. They haven't started yet. They've got no idea.
Of course. Yes, just a handyman nightmare.
It's the honeymoon planning stage where it all seems such a great idea. Sure, we'll change these taps in the bathroom. What could possibly go wrong? There's no way that we'll find the shower's been leaking for 30 years and all the timber framing behind the tiles is rotten and full of termites and we'll need to completely rebuild the bathroom.
Oh, yeah, that's triggering for me as well. We've got a bit of soggy bench top in the kitchen.
Oh, soggy's never good in a house.
Lenny keeps pressing it and making it, bend just to show me how it bends. I keep saying, stop doing that. Don't do that. You're making it worse. She said, we'll need to replace it. I said, don't know. We just need to let it dry out and leave it alone.
Yeah, you're going to have to start fixing that, and it's going to take you ages, and it's going to be her fault.
Yeah, that's a project I'm not going to start until something really calamitous happens.
Very sensible.
I'm going to let it get much worse before I fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's how things should be. They get worse before they get better.
Some try to tell me.
Some try to tell me thoughts they cannot defend. So you know what it's like? You're in the DIY store, you need advice.
Oh, gosh.
But the only staff available is a 15-year-old boy who clearly knows nothing about paint and has never done any DIY. But he will make up an answer to your question anyway.
Sure.
But if you ask him more detailed questions, he's got no knowledge. And he's just repeating something he vaguely heard the old guy from the paint department say once.
Yep, that'd be right.
Yep, and I know because I was that 15-year-old boy.
That's right. I remember you working in a hardware store chain.
Yeah, I mean, I seem to have made this song almost completely about me, but I'm sure it's a universal story.
Well, I mean, you write what you know.
Yeah.
Just what you want to be.
But at least we have an optimistic finish. Just what you want to be, you will be in the end. He realizes he's just got to keep plugging away at the job. He'll get what he wants in the end, and he'll be satisfied with the result, and he'll feel good that he achieved it himself.
Just what you want to be, you'll be in the end.
Yeah.
Semi-competent at the job.
Well, relieved it's over, probably. But I think these projects are kind of like having a baby. Once it's over, you forget the agony, and when your partner suggests painting another room, you eagerly agree, only to realize as soon as you start...
you're back in the same...
You're back where you started. It's going to be another nightmare.
You're going through stuff
They can understand.
Stuff that even yourself once couldn't understand, or once could understand, but then couldn't again, and now can understand again.
Yeah.
I think.
The difference is in childbirth, they offer you pethidine and laughing gas, which you don't get for DIY.
We could actually see what the artist themselves has mentioned.
Yes, that would be a very good idea.
Wikipedia says that Justin Hayward wrote and composed the song at age 19 while touring in Belgium, and titled the song after a girlfriend gave him a gift of satin bedsheets.
Ah, yes.
It kind of makes sense because the British are, I think, fussy travellers.
Yeah.
Like he's in Belgium, hotels, and his girlfriend sends him a parcel of sheets and maybe one of those UV dark lights so he can check the hotel bedding for any invisible stains and marks.
Yes.
And then if necessary, he can just pop the satin sheets on top so you feel safe and hygienic.
Yes.
And then for dinner, heat up a can of beans that you brought with you.
There we go.
From back in the UK.
Yep. Justin only eats beans and chips. So there seem to be multiple women involved in this, apparently. So the sheets were given to him by a former girlfriend.
Oh, right.
But then he'd recently been dumped by another girlfriend and was going out with a third girl. So it's all very complicated. I'm not actually sure who.
Yeah, there was like a new relationship that he's going into as he was writing this song.
Yes.
Do people see that in the lyrics?
No, that's something Justin said himself. So it was there was the sheet woman, the ex-girlfriend, and the new girlfriend. It's a triple whammy.
Crikey, he's really just trying to make himself out to be a bit of a player, maybe. I don't know.
Well, exactly, yes. And I've got some pretty nice sheets.
That's a typical incel thing to do.
Yes.
You know, allegedly.
Well, given that we're talking about sheets, would this be a good time to talk about the early version of the song that I've uncovered?
Oh, yes.
Yes. So in the final version of the song, the sheets are only mentioned in passing just before we move on to discuss all the other topics.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess he means them as a metaphor for something or other to do with emotional turmoil, whatever.
Ah, could be, yes.
But there was an earlier and I think much more pure draft of the song focused solely on the satin sheets and giving what I think is a fair and balanced appraisal of the positives and negatives of the sheets.
Sheets of white satin laid out on my bed, and when I get scared of the dark, pull them over my head. The cheap ones are nylon, expensive are silk. They're not machine washable, so don't spill your hot milk. But they're comfy. They're so comfy. Oh, they're so comfy. They're cozy in winter, but sweaty in summer. They're not very breathable, and that's really a bummer. Well, they feel quite sexy if you're keen on bedroom action, but they're too slinky and smooth. You can't get any traction, 'cause they're slippery. They're too slippery. Oh, they're too slippery. So slippery.
Wow, there you go. That was
There you go.
a lot about sheets, indeed.
It was, yes. And I can tell he feels very strongly about them.
So we've got no music video to discuss, really, but
No, sadly.
the 9-minute symphony version, it is pretty odd. The orchestra seem to be doing backing music for something like the climax of an Errol Flynn movie at certain points. Or
Yes.
as Looper9264, user on YouTube, commented, for a moment I thought this was the soundtrack to Harry Potter. Anyway, yeah, it's basically your radio song sort of cut, bookended by 5 minutes of jarring and dramatic orchestra,
Yes.
plus a pretty average poem written by the drummer, which is recited, not sung, and concludes with, "Cold-hearted orb that rules the night removes the colours from our sight. Red is grey and yellow white, but we decide which is right and which is an illusion." And they're both using petrol bombs. I may have inserted some Rick from the Young Ones there, but you'd never know.
It was
'cause
seamless, though. No.
It's all student-level stuff.
Yeah, and frankly incorrect.
Oh,
We don't decide what's right and what's an illusion.
there's perception.
Well, yes, but we don't decide which is which.
No.
An object is objectively red because the arrangement of atoms that make it up reflect the light with a wavelength of between 620 and 750 nanometers.
Oh, yeah.
We might subjectively perceive that color differently because maybe the makeup of our eyes are different or because of
All right.
the color of the light in the room.
So it's an anti-science sort of rant,
Yes,
which is another incel move, I think.
exactly. Absolutely. Yes,
That's what happens when you get all caught up in mysticism and fantasy.
exactly.
Poetry, eh? Oh. I mean, if you're writing a song, you're basically singing poetry. So why have a separate recited poem? Seems like an odd choice to me. Anyway.
I thought I read somewhere that he had the poem and they couldn't really put it to music and they just came up with the idea of, why don't you just read it?
Because he was really, really committed to it and they didn't want to break his little heart.
Guys, my poem. What about my poem?
Oh, Christ, his poem. I've got to do something. Let him see his poem. Oh. Okay, you can say your poem.
Yeah.
Theory.
All right.
Let's do it.
Commenting on songfacts.com, user Sam says the song is about a sex addict who can't commit to one girl but sort of loves them all. He gazes at people hand in hand because they're in monogamous relationships, and what he's going through, i.e. constant sex, they just can't understand. Poor Justin, eh?
Yeah. I'm trying to find here one that's related.
Well, Cyberpope from Richmond, Canada, he commented that Nights in White Satin could be sperm emitted during a wet dream,
Oh, yes.
like cute little white knights in gooey armour. So, yeah, that's adorable.
Or they're in your white satin sheets because you made a mess in the bed.
Yes,
Yeah.
true, yep.
There were a couple about same-sex relationships as well.
Yeah, I think I did see a couple of those sort of comments, and then other comments from, frankly, boomers who were pretty intolerant of that sort of interpretation.
Yeah. There's one on a website called lyricinterpretations.com that I haven't actually come across before.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone on there is labelled anonymous. It's about same-sex lovers who have broken up due to conflicts of one person/religious reasons.
Oh.
Again, this may be about the person who wrote it. Memories of the romantic nights on white satin sheets that they hoped would never end. Now when the beloved sees couples hand in hand, visions of her lost love flood her memory.
Oh.
Some try to tell her it's for the better. She was not ready, while others say, get a man.
Crikey.
We're back to compulsory heterosexuality.
Yes, I was just thinking that too. Last episode, yes.
Yes.
Please refer back, listeners, and listen to that episode for a full explanation.
Yes. And while we're still on sex, there's one about a celibate Mormon missionary.
Okay.
A lonely Mormon missionary wearing his satin garments.
Oh.
I didn't know Mormon missionaries wore satin garments, but anyway.
Yeah, they've got like special underwear and stuff
Oh, really?
that they wear underneath, yeah.
I did not know that. Sworn to celibacy for 2 years, seeming to never reach the end, seeing lovers hand in hand, unable to defend his thoughts or his religion, or others unable to defend theirs, sending letters or reports to leaders, never really meaning to send them. Just what the truth is, I can't say anymore. Such a sad interpretation, says Anonymous.
His faith has been shaken.
Yes.
Terrible, terrible. I'm back on songfacts.com.
Oh, yes.
Harry from Sunnyvale, California. He says it's all about soldiers being sent back home from Vietnam in white sheets.
Ah, yes. Ah, of course.
Powerful image.
Yes.
Completely wrong, but powerful.
Yes. And there were a number of Night with a K theories also.
A few people mentioned the KKK.
That's true.
Being involved in the meeting. One said it's about a KKK member who fell in love with a black woman and how it tortures him and changes how he sees things.
Ah.
That's a nice little drama there.
Yes. Actually, Mitch 11573 points out that the cover of the album has a picture of a knight on it.
Oh, does it?
So, yes.
I thought they were like abstract faces or something.
No. If you look in the upper left corner, it says Mitch 11573.
Okay.
There's a picture of a knight charging with a lance on his horse.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Spelling is one thing, but there's definitely mixed insinuations.
Yes, yes. And Sundance 007 says being a knight in white satin is like being a chivalrous knight of the old brackets King Arthur's time.
Right.
But anyway, he goes on a bit, but then at the end he says, don't worry, ladies, I'm not leaving you out. A female can be a knight in white satin, which I think is very modern.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
A very equal opportunity of him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's see. Gage Shavanik 5410 on YouTube writes, my dad was born in 1953. He saw the Moody Blues in concert. He was an incredibly intelligent man. One day, we heard the full version of this song on the radio when I was maybe 10 years old. My dad told me this song is about Star Wars and about the Jedi. And I listened to the entire song. I've always seen this song as about that, about Star Wars. He passed away last year. Last things we watched together was The Mandalorian.
Okay.
That's very sad.
Yeah.
I think that's just one way to stop your kid complaining when you insist on listening to 9-minute tracks from concept albums. Tell the kid it's about Star Wars, and they'll just shut up and listen.
Yeah, barely 10 years before the movie came out.
Yeah. And also, I don't think the Jedis wore white satin. More just a lot of brown and beige sort of sackcloth.
Have you seen what's under their robes? Because I haven't.
Oh, they might be like the Mormons with some special satin underwear.
Exactly. Yeah. Space satin.
And Yoda might have a cute little teeny version. Lovely. A user, Owlsy, says, it's about drugs.
Of course.
Specifically LSD. Beauty missed by these eyes before. That refers to all the amazing colours and stuff you see when tripping. Gazing at people who can't understand what you're going through because they don't know you're on drugs.
Yes.
Another user said white satin means cocaine. So,
Yep,
that or LSD, take your pick. There you go.
Yep.
And after drugs, the other inevitable theory comes from Wyatt FB5 on YouTube, who says, the letters I've written, never meaning to send, are those you can read in the Holy Bible.
There has to be one.
Never sent, never reaching the end, the truth. And I think that would also mean Justin is making himself out to be God. Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Or that God is speaking through Justin to advertise his book, the Bible, that he also wrote via men that he also spoke through. So it's kind of a product placement ad in the song. And that's great marketing by God there.
Yeah. So sorry, where does the white satin come into it? I think I must have missed that.
He hasn't even mentioned the white satin. Just the letters I've written, never meaning to send.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's entirely based on that.
You have to sort of contort yourself to make it make sense.
Sure.
But Christians are used to doing that, so that's fine.
That's true. Yeah. Whatever works.
Yeah. Similarly, Cindy Andrews over on genius.com says, I believe this is God's love song to his fallen angel.
Oh.
So that would be the devil.
Yep.
And she doesn't expand further, but I guess she seems to think God wants to get back together with the devil, which is a lovely thought. And, they do say opposites attract. So good luck to them, I say.
Yeah, I hope they can work it out.
It's taken them a while so far, but yeah.
Well, yes. There's one more here about Saudi Arabs.
Okay.
So from lyricinterpretations.com. Each on horseback dressed in white satin were to be their wedding day. Their families were from areas that conflicted for hundreds of years, but no one really recognized that so much more anymore. On their day to be married, their families were there. The man and his soon-to-be bride were each on horseback dressed in white satin, equals the wedding was denied.
Okay.
I don't know what any of that meant.
Yes, there's a bit of strange run-on sentence wording.
Yes.
But I get the gist,
Sure.
Yeah. User Mars2000 reckons it's about the Knights Templar.
Of course.
Who never made it back from the Crusades. Just like the one in Indiana Jones. He was never reaching the end, was he?
Yes.
He took like the last shift watching over the Holy Grail.
That's right, yes.
He chose poorly. Over on songmeanings.com, user Deep Feelin' says, nights in white satin are winter nights when there's a satin blanket of snow outside.
Oh, yeah, okay. Nights in white
satin.
I've never really...
Yes.
It's not a common...
We're not from a snowy country, so we don't think in
No.
those terms. But yeah, winter drags on like it'll never reach the end. And
yeah, true.
If you write letters but you're snowed in, so you can't send them.
Well, that's very true. Yeah.
Nearly finished.
There's a lot.
Ex-Sailor367 says white satin is the lining of a coffin where you spend your death like a knight that's never reaching the end. I quite like that. That's pretty clever.
Like a night with a K, or a night?
Oh, no.
Like as in like eternal night because you're dead.
An eternal nighttime because you're dead.
Yes.
An unregistered user on lyricsmode.com. Is that the one you said? No, it was Lyric Interpretations.
Lyric Interpretations, yeah.
Yeah. Now, this guy says, nights in white satin are nights of the full satiny white moon, casting its lonely glow as a stalker is reaching the pinnacle of his obsession before the murder, he says. So he could be inferring that Justin Hayward is the Zodiac killer, perhaps, active around the same time.
Right.
Were the Moody Blues touring in the States at the same time as each murder? Maybe.
Could be.
Did the murders stop when he returned to England?
So never reaching the end, does that imply that he's just going to keep killing, or that he doesn't quite manage to kill?
Ooh. Or maybe that even after killing, it won't end because he'll keep the body as a trophy.
Ah, yes.
That he might revisit as, I think it was the Green River Killer in the States who would keep going back to the bodies he'd left behind and repositioning them or posing them or something. Anyway, don't interfere with corpses, even after you've killed them yourself. It's just not good.
That's right.
It's a separate charge, I think, interfering with a corpse.
Yeah, I mean, and really, who's to say which is worse? Killing somebody or interfering with them afterwards?
I feel like the killing is probably worse. I'm to say. That's who's to say. I am.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
You decide which is right and which is an illusion.
I mean, don't interfere people before they're a corpse either. Come to that.
No, that's true.
Unless you've got clear consent.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, if you're on a date with a nice girl and things get a little hot and heavy towards the end, just still be clear and say, do you mind if I interfere with you?
Yes.
Before taking it any further.
Yeah. And if you say it like that, how can they refuse?
Wizard critics.
What?
Whispered limericks.
Sorry?
Lizard clerics. Misheard lyrics.
Let's do it.
As reported at kissthisguy.com and amiright.com. I've only got a couple, really. I like to ignore the dross. Instead of Knights in White Satin, someone heard Knights Speaking Latin as the title.
Yes.
Another heard Knights in San Quentin, which is a prison, I believe.
Yep.
Good place to reflect on past lovers and crimes you did in the KKK, maybe.
There's also Nights While I've Sat In.
Yeah, yes, that's a very English-sounding type of one.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
I think I saw a similar one. Nights my wife sat in.
Yes.
My wife sat in. Like having a quiet one.
Yeah.
Her indoors, the trouble and strife, staying in. Or unless it was a sit-in, like a protest.
Oh, I see, yes.
A protest that was so successful it went on into the night.
Never reaching the end. Or there's Nasty Like Satin.
Oh, I didn't hear that one. Nasty Like Satin.
Yes. Nasty.
Someone heard, instead of Knights in White Satin, 1917.
Yes.
So instead of Knights in, it's 19. White is 1. Satin, 7. 1917.
But what does it mean?
Possibly the year 1917.
Of course, yes.
Like a song about World War One. Never reaching the end, as wars often seem like that.
I see, yes.
I mean, I've never been in a war, but I've watched MASH, and that bloody went on forever.
That's true, yeah.
And R.I.P., we lost Hot Lips recently.
That is true, yes.
Loretta Swit.
Yes.
Valet, etc.
Indeed.
Gazing at people, some hand in hand, was heard as gays are a people, some hand in hand. The gays are a people.
Yeah, it's not wrong.
It's notable but trivial. It's trivial but still notable. It's notable, trivial.
I saw quite a few comments on YouTube from people who were children when this song came out, with parents playing this song after the kids were in bed, and it seems quite a few kids had nightmares about this song.
Oh.
Like they could hear the high drama orchestral bits from their bedroom, and I can see how that might wind up your anxiety.
Oh, yeah, I guess the weird anguish noises in the chorus.
Yeah. And, the poem's a bit, the gathering gloom and
yes,
cold-hearted orbs and things. It sounds a bit spooky. Yeah.
Indeed. Look, my favourite piece of trivia about this song is that for 2 glorious summers, there was a theme park ride based on Nights in White Satin.
Yes, I did see this, yeah. And I watched it on YouTube. You can actually experience the ride for yourself, such as it is.
Yes.
It was like a walk-through ride, as in not really a ride at all. You just walk through some dark rooms with not really music, but soundscapes.
Yeah.
There's flashing lights and projections. And yes, there was a couple of knights in armor.
There you go.
I saw.
Yeah. I mean, it had a good name. It was called Nights in White Satin, The Trip.
Whoa.
Very clever pun, being that it's both a bit trippy and also literally a ride.
Yeah.
So, very clever.
Yeah. This would be the sort of ride you would only do once.
Yeah. Well, it was voted in the top 3 new attractions of 2008 in a themeparkinsider.com annual poll.
Well, that's high praise indeed.
Yes, but the whole park. So it opened as the Hard Rock Park.
Oh, yeah. I think I read that.
In April, closed in September, was sold, renamed the Freestyle Music Park, reopened the next summer, and then that was it forever.
Oh, for now.
Yeah.
They may reemerge.
Maybe.
You can't keep a good idea down, or this one.
Well, it's been kept down for the last 10 years, or more than that, actually. So 15 years.
Fair enough. Nights at White Castle is a parody song on YouTube. White Castle is a US burger chain, much derided, and that parody is a bit average. But I did enjoy one by Bob Rivers called Ghosts in White Linen, which is written about kids going around at Halloween, trick-or-treating, and it's very well sung with all the passion of the original, but it's just very silly, and I recommend it. So check out both of those on YouTube.
Yep, okay. There are a couple more interesting cover versions. One by Umir Deodato, who is otherwise best known for his disco version of the theme from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh, okay. Gosh.
It's kind of a bluesy, soul-y, electric piano and plus guitar, and ends up with wah-wah guitars and synths and sounds like a 70s cop show theme.
Oh.
Almost unrecognizable, but pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Also worth checking out is a sort of a punkish kind of cover by a band called the Dickies.
Oh, yes, I did listen to that one too, yes.
Who are interesting in themselves because they are one of the longest-lasting punk bands ever. Formed in 1977 and still going strong.
Wow, well, that's a very unpunk thing to do.
That's true.
Last a long time. That's not good.
Yeah. No.
Well, thanks tonight to all the wives that have sat in and listened. We're almost reaching the end. Just got to remind everyone to subscribe, follow, rate, review, unless it's a bad review, in which case write it, never meaning to send.
Yes.
And then don't send it. Why not consider helping fund these important investigations with a $2 a month paid subscription? Check with your financial advisor if this investment is right for you. And send us a speakpipe.com/lyrics with your own thoughts for a future episode. But until then, bye-bye.
Bye now.
Lyrics of the Lost.